So something that happened yesterday, Renee, you wrote about this at iMore. Apple has changed how it handles downloading OS updates for the big versions, the big installer versions. That it used to be one way, and now it's going to be another way. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So previously, I mean, a while ago, Apple moved how you update, the way that you update OS 10, now macOS, to the Mac App Store. And what would happen is you'd get an alert that an update was available. You'd press the little button to update, and then you sit there and wait, and it would suck down however many gigabytes it would need to suck down. And depending on the speed of your connection, that could be, fairly fast, or it could be come back after a long day at work and hope that it's probably done. For apps, they've had this thing called background download, where if you enabled it, and for a lot of people, it probably was enabled by default, but you have that choice in preferences. If you enabled it, it would be pinged that an update was ready. It would download the update, not install it. They never want to install anything without your permission, but it would go through and just allow you to quickly update everything. I should correct that. For app updates, you can automatically have them installed, but for system updates, they wanted to make sure that you were aware, so it wouldn't reboot in the middle of you doing a podcast. So what they've done now is That's
nice. Good of them to do that. That's
We both have had experiences with other platforms where it would reboot in the middle of a podcast. Mm-hmm. Not the best experience. So what they've done now is they've given the same background download capability to the installer for for Mac OS Sierra. So if you're running the latest versions of El Capitan, either the absolute latest version or the previous version, you'll get this ability. You'll see the update pop up, and you'll go to install it, and you'll find that beautifully, miraculously, it's already been downloaded. You just press a button and it starts to install. They are being conscientious, though, for people who may be on limited storage. And if you try to save something and your Mac is on limited space, it'll just ditch that installer quietly in the background, freeing up a gigabyte or two of space that you can use, maybe 3 gigabytes depending on your system, that you can use to download stuff or to save stuff in the meantime. Then it'll just go back to downloading it again when you have enough space. So it's more of this sort of background intelligent management stuff. And for most people, I think it'll just be a no-brainer. It's just easier to do, but they are giving options for people who want to forbid it on their system, for example.
It sounds like this is the perfect sort of feature if you're somebody who doesn't have a metered connection and has plenty of bandwidth and isn't worried about it, because then you get the instant gratification, essentially. It's, hey, did you know that Sierra's here? And then you can install it right then and not sort of say, sure, and then an unspecified amount of time later, it will throw up a little dialog box and say, now would you like to install this new operating system? It lets you do it in a moment. And if you're on metered, or you're worried about your download ruining your podcast or whatever it is, then you can go into system preferences, into the App Store preferences in system preferences, and turn it off, and it won't auto download anything if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's a great system, I think, for most people. If you do have concerns, or if you're on a production system that you never want to upgrade, that you're still running Tiger on, you absolutely will not be affected by this. But it's one of those things that's nice. It's getting the management of the computer out of the way from people who just want to use it.
And Apple benefits here because it makes it that much easier for everybody to get on Sierra, which is what they always want everybody on the latest OS version. And so now you don't have that moment of I don't want to bother right now. Instead, it's sort of like we can do it right this moment. You don't have to wait.
It's sort of like how iOS, tvOS have been working for a while now.
Right, and there is, to be clear, just like with iOS and tvOS, they will ask you, and you have to go through the installation steps. It's not going to do something in the background and shock you. They'll ask permission before they do anything like upgrade your software.
Yep,
it's only polite.
True things.